Hey everybody, in today's video I'm going to walk you through and conduct a product interview. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take an idea that I have and I'm going to ask Gemini to interview me about it so that we can come up with a product documentation so that in a future video I can start to vibe code it. So let's get started. Move over to Gemini here. I want you to interview me for the purposes of hammering out the details for a product idea that I had. The end result should be a document I can use with Claude to start developing the app MVP. Let's get started. So it's important to tell the AI exactly what the goal is because now it goes into interviewer mode. In one or two sentences, what is the elevator pitch for your product? I want to develop an intelligent application called Echo Hive that performs marketing intelligence on your brand as well as your competitors. The foundation will be pulling in data from various social media websites and the internet at large. On top of that will be a chat interface so you can communicate with the data, and on top of that will be an AI agent that actually goes out and collates the data, tells you how you can respond to these market signals, and even respond on your behalf. The MVP should be only intelligence about yourself, and once that's working, we should add the intelligence about our competitors. I know that was a bit longer than it should have been, but I want to give it as much information as I possibly can, and I think that this is a really unique business idea. And I don't mind telling everyone because you're gonna watch me vibe code it anyways, so you're gonna find out what it is. I've already bought the domain, I've got the repository, I've got the Supabase, I've got the GitHub, I've got the Netlify, I've got everything, so it's already set up. I just haven't started to code anything. Okay, so telling me it's a good idea. So who is your ideal initial user? I'm gonna use the microphone for this. Let's see if it works. Okay, my ideal initial user for the MVP is most likely a team of 10 to 20 employees where maybe there's one dedicated marketing person who is focused on trying to understand how to grow the brand by understanding what the market is saying about the company, whether it's positive signals, negative signals, or neutral signals, but companies that are larger could use this as well. Okay, so that's the first question. Second question, the question is, describe the biggest frustrations or challenges the person faces today. The challenges they face are not being able to easily check every platform multiple times a day to see what the world is saying about them. It's also possible that the ICP is a PR firm working on behalf of a client. The challenges they face are not being able to easily check each platform multiple times a day to see what the world is saying about them in real time. I would say they probably don't have a marketing intelligence process because, manually speaking, it's hard to establish. When you say market signals, what are specific signals the MVP should absolutely be able to detect about the user brand? We want to see every mention on the internet so that the brand can see exactly what is being said. Something else important is to know who is saying it, so having links to the original content, be it a website article or a tweet, as well as the popularity of who is saying it, meaning if it's a Twitter account with 5 subscribers, it will have less urgency. Okay, so that's the next response. So let's see what questions come up next. I love doing these interviews because they're so interesting and they give me so much insight into what I should be building. Okay, part 3, the user's experience and core features, onboarding and setup. When this marketing manager signs up and logs in for the very first time, what is the absolute minimum setup they need to do to start getting value? They should fill in a few details about the company and some keywords they typically follow. They should also be able to supply the current handles for their accounts so the application can look for mentions like when people at the account and or nicknames for the brand, etc., so the app can crawl the web looking for mentions of the brand name. Okay, question 6, the main dashboard. After they set up, they land on the main screen. What is the most important information they should see immediately? On the dashboard, we should see the top 5 most urgent mentions to review, as well as brand sentiment over the last 24 hours and or 7 days, which is taken from all of the mentions in the list averaged out over that time period. So if there's 100 mentions and 15 of them are negative, then you can see the overall sentiment from the last day is 15% negative. We should also have features like a tab on the sidebar as its own page that is a feed of the entire list of mentions. The chat interface should be on the right side of the screen and can collapse completely to allow the user to see more information. There should also be user login, sign up, reset password, forgot password, workflows. We want to use ChatGPT for this, so we'll use the open AI API key I can provide later. We will also use GitHub for the repository and Supabase for the database and Netlify to host. We want to use React plus Vite. Vite is a JS JavaScript template system that we like to use. We want the AI to be able to read all of the data on the application so that the user can ask valid questions based solely on the information in the application, so it remains relevant and can fall back to the LLM's knowledge base if the application data doesn't exist to answer the question intelligently. So the reason why we're doing this is because we want the AI to use the data first and foremost that exists on the application, and if it doesn't have that data, then it will go and be on the knowledge database. You mentioned wanting to know the popularity urgency of a mention. How should the app determine this for the MVP? Right now, mention priority should be based on follower count if on social media, and maybe Google rankings and or domain authority if on websites. It would be great to include YouTube videos in this as well, since it's something popular and can't be ignored. I know we're asking for a ton from this document, but that's the goal, is to kind of just throw out all of the information here. And let's see what it asks next. I think it has a pretty good sense of what we want. Yeah, here we go. So we have a pretty good idea of what we want. So now it's comfortable with creating the product specifications document that I could then go and use. So let's review this. Create an intelligent, automated marketing and brand intelligence platform that empowers businesses to understand and engage with their audience real time. Provide small and medium-sized businesses with a centralized real-time view of their own brand's mentions across the web, enabling them to quickly identify and prioritize important conversations. Small company or a PR firm lacks centralized or efficient process, core user problems to solve, lack of visibility, information overload, inability to prioritize, user accounts, requirements, onboarding wizard, data collection engine, main dashboard, requirements, sentiment chart, mentions, feed. Okay, so we've actually come up with a pretty good document that we can use, and I'm gonna copy and paste this entire thing into another document, and I'm gonna use that document next time for us to be able to create the application. I'm going to do a little bit of work to get that actually working. That'll be the start of that next video. If you like this video, then give me a like and subscribe, and tell your friends who are looking to do product interviews so they can come up with an MVP plan quickly for what they want to do. And in the next video, we're going to start putting this into action and setting up our environment and starting to vibe code this idea. I'm excited. Let's do the next one.